All right, beautiful. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. Tonight, you can feel free to utilize the chat box at any time if you have any questions, if there's anything that comes up for you that you feel called to share, however that looks for you. We are going to be doing new moon manifestation. So the new moon was actually on the 26th, but the beautiful thing about today is we're still within the shadow of it. And there's a lot of energy surrounding this also being the last couple of days of the new year. So I feel like regardless of the new moon, the collective energy that's already upon us that we get to co-create within is just so abundantly beautiful that whether the manifestation circle was on the 26th today or even on the 31st, it is still just as activating for all of us to be able to co-create within. So tonight, I'm going to take you through the experience of doing a lot of self-reflective questions to helping you to really just get more clear about yourself, where you are, where you're wanting to go. We're going to do a guided meditation to really just let go and throw away anything else that could be potentially holding us back at this time, so that moving forward, we can truly just step into all the beautiful energy that is already overflowing into our life due to the new year coming towards for us, and then also just all the experience and all the energy that we are already cultivating within us. And it's so beautiful because the people that are already here are here for a reason. We are all showing up as we are meant to for the things that we are meant to hear. So, and then plus the replay, so you get to hear it all over again in the end. So welcome to tonight's new moon manifestation circle and intention setting. I'm so excited to have you all here tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Riley June. I'm an intuitive medium, and this whole journey and whole process came to me when I lost someone close and dear to my heart in 2015. And from that, all I really wanted was a way to be able to connect with her on my own terms. And what unfolded was something so much more magical and beautiful that I never could have truly realized was possible for me until I was gifted the opportunity to step into the opportunity of actually being able to connect and tap into the ability to connect with spirit on the other side. And from that, as you can see, has turned into a whole new thing and a beautiful thing of now I get to host circles like this and learn all about meditation so that I can help you all tune in to yourself and learn about meditation and self-awareness for you too. So if you had the opportunity to print off the worksheet, I'm going to be kind of going through that as a guideline. If not, that's okay, because I'm still going to be running through the things that are on it anyways. So as long as you have a pen and a paper, you get to participate regardless. So that's fun. And then at the end, I'm going to allow Spirit to select a name from a hat. We're going to do this old-fashioned way, and someone's going to win. I have two crystals here. I have a selenite crystal, a yellow jasper, which is a beautiful grounding stone. I have a rose quartz crystal necklace, and a $25 gift certificate. So someone is going to win that, and it is going to get mailed out on Tuesday, Monday, to whoever wins. So yay. All right. So first and foremost, the affirmations that we're kind of going to be surrounding ourselves with tonight are the affirmations within this beautiful new moon circle and new moon energy of I am here to celebrate this life. I am here to find joy and love. I accept me wholly and always. I love all experiences I am asked to be a part of. Something that's really helped me in my life is to start looking at all the things, the unideal things, the really extreme beautiful things, as experiences that I was asked to be a part of, whether it was from divine, from spirit, from my guides, my angels, or all of them collectively. They were all experiences that I was asked to be a part of, so that in some way, shape, or form, I could either pivot, I could learn, I could grow, or I could just be a part of something even greater. So as we're moving into the new year, I really invite you to just sit with that one affirmation in and of itself right now, and just reflect on whether you want to journal a couple notes down or write down a couple notes, whether you just want to sit with a self-reflective moment. We're going to take about a minute. And I just invite you to sit with all the things that you've been asked to be a part of and to experience in the last year in and of itself. If you feel like you want to go a bit further back, that is totally okay, okay and open for you to do. But just sit with that. What are those things that you've been asked to be a part of in the last year or longer of your life that has really helped you to come to this place in your life? Whether it's to this exact moment where you're joining me here, whether it's that thing that you're about to start or that new adventure you're wanting to do, What are those like key things, 2 or 3 things that have really brought you to this place right now? And I just invite you to reflect on them right now for what those were meant to be for you, or how those things were for you. And now what you get to do because of that. What was something you learned? What were you able to take away from that? I'm going to give you another minute to sit with that. Okay, beautiful. So feel free to leave that where it is for now and to revisit it later. What I really wanted you to get out of this is that there was some pivotal moment in time in your life where it was something really exciting or something not so exciting that happened that you were a part of. And up until this point, you've now come to this place where it's realized to you. So, again, whether that was a negative thing or a positive thing, something came to you right now that was an experience that you got to be a part of, and it brought you here. And as we're moving forward, whether that was a negative experience or a positive experience, we're moving forward with the understanding that through anything that we've been through, we learn and we grow and we adapt. So then we look at the affirmation, I accept me wholly and always. What is that thing for yourself that was unideal that you really had to accept, that you really had to do, or you still have to do the work to love yourself through? In order for us to really step into that opportunity and that energy of manifesting and co-creating all the things that we're requiring and desiring and the balance that we want in our future and even just in our present moment, we have to learn to wholly accept those things, those unideal things, those unideal people, circumstances with people, and love ourselves through that process. What was that one thing for you that showed up in your life that wasn't the easiest to go through, that really stands out in this moment? How can you love yourself even more through that right now? Okay. And now, because of that circumstance or situation, that unideal thing that happened in your life, you get to come to this place where you've either already been doing, you're going to start doing, and we're going to move forward doing that self love, that self acceptance of whatever that circumstance was for you. And now we're going to shift into finding the joy and the love. When we go through that process of accepting the things that happen to us in our life, we shift and we transform into this energy that allows us to now just experience that with a neutral sensation. We allow ourselves to co-create with the joy and the love of whatever that was for us. Now, depending on the variation of the severity of that circumstance and how that was for you, it may take a lot more work. It may take a lot more self-acceptance. It may take a lot more really finding the joy and the love. But the more that you continue to revisit it and the more that you continue to analyze it as if to pick it apart and look at it, where was your hand in it? Where was the other person's hand in it? What was their energy? What was your energy? What could you have done? What could they have done? What could nobody have done? How did that contribute to something you got to learn and grow and do? And now we accept it. We're learning to accept it. And again, that may take a process. It may take years. This may just be the beginning of you really starting to work through that. But the more that you start to do it, the more that you start to talk about it, the more that you start to share that, the more it becomes neutral. The more it doesn't, the more that, no, that's not the right words. I guess it might be. The more it doesn't, yeah, I guess it is. The more it doesn't carry such a heavy emotion to it anymore. If you think about it, if you continue to tell the same story over and over and over and over and over again, it feels more repetitive than it feels emotional. So where in the beginning, if this was 2 years ago, and I started talking about the loss of my aunt, I would hardly get through the first sentence. Whereas now, the more that I share it, it's not that it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. It's just that I've come to a sense of acceptance with it. And now I find joy within it. And I find happiness within it. And now I get to just create whatever I meant to create with her a part of my life. And now we move into um, we're moving into the sense of finding the joy and the love through that circumstance. So because of that happening to you, what was something positive that turned around? What was what was the shift? What was the transformation? Was it something you learned? Was it something you felt? Was it a boundary you set? Was it an experience that was now available for you because you went through that, you grew through it? Was it a foot that you got to put down later? What was that thing, that positive experience that came out of you going through that unideal circumstance in your life? If you're just joining us, we're going through the worksheet. We are starting with the beginning affirmations at the beginning of the worksheet. And right now we're working our way backwards and we're on the finding the joy and love with unideal circumstances, following how we're learning and how we've learned to accept what has happened for us in our past. Beautiful. Okay. So now we get to look at kind of that final stage, that celebrating this life. That thing that we went through, whether it was various and a vast and a lot of things, or whether it's just one circumstance that really stood out for us, that was kind of that pivoting or turning moment in our life. Now, because of that, we get to celebrate something so much greater. We get to celebrate still waking up every day. We get to celebrate still having the opportunity to heal and to move forward from that. We get to celebrate learning and growth. We get to celebrate all the new connections and all the boundaries and all the things that we were able to create because of that pivotal moment in our life. Though at the time, very likely felt unideal, felt traumatic in some way, felt like, why me? But now we look at it, whether it's years or months or weeks later, and we get to celebrate having gone through that from a place of acceptance, from a place of finding a neutral sensation with it, and now being able to create with joy and love. And when we manifest anything into our life, whether it's money or relationships or whether it's money or relationships or a job or a career or a transition, anything of the sort, we have to go through those steps, right? We have to get ourselves into that emotional state and into that energetic state of looking at the things that we've been a part of surrounding that. So I'll use money because money's an easy one, and who doesn't love more money? So we look at all the experiences in our past of where money has been a part of our life, whether it be a positive experience or a negative experience. And we get to love everything that has created for us. Then we get to take an experience that was an ideal surrounding money, and we get to look at it as to how we can accept that, how we can accept going through that, or what that's created for us, or the learning or the growth curve, the idea, the new belief, the thing that we get to work within. And then we get to shift it from that acceptance place into a space of now finding joy and love for it. So me and my husband went through a period of time where he wasn't working because he couldn't physically due to his health. And I wasn't working because I was watching over him and making sure that he was okay and taking care of him, and then also pregnant and then having a baby. So we were pretty much just living off of whatever people were contributing to our life, plus like just benefits and disability, which doesn't leave a whole lot of room for any of the extras, let alone almost even the basic things that you need in your life. And so by going through that, that was the time in my life that I struggled the most with money ever. And what that circumstance taught me now is to appreciate even the small things. It taught me that no matter what, that there's always going to be a sense of money there to complement and to allow what I need in my life. So where we weren't guaranteed on paper, we were only getting a certain amount, the universe, our friends, our family, however you want to look at it, was always there to contribute what we needed to allow us to get by. And now we get into the space where we both can work and we're both doing things in our life, and I'm creating this whole community and this business and this beautiful connection with all of you, and then the growth within myself, and he's going on to do other things in his life. We get to understand and have a deeper appreciation for money because we get to understand that no matter what we do, we've already been shown, we already have the proof. Our subconscious mind knows that in some way, shape, or form, the money is always going to show up, so that we get to love and accept and experience joy. Now, that's not to say that that wipes away any sort of stress or overwhelm that we could ever experience, because where there is an up, there is always a down. It's the contrast of life. However, we get to choose when we start to get that overwhelming sensation as to how to step out of it. And it's just by simply going through these steps energetically. And then we get to that space of now finding the joy and the love within money, as per the example. Now we get to celebrate the life that we live and the things that we experience and the things that we get to do above and beyond what our bank account may reflect, right? Of course, there's responsibilities in life, but you can even use this in the same way with relationship, right? There was relationships in my past that I was a part of that I now love, that I was asked to experience due to, I had this belief that I always thought everyone was always going to be in my life unless they passed away, that they were meant to be there for some reason and they were going to stay the whole time. But because I didn't really grasp the understanding that people are actually more of a reflection of ourselves, where we are, what we're meant to create, what we're meant to learn, how we're meant to grow, in some way, shape, or form, they're a reflection of something we need, as much as they are just a beautiful complement to our life. It really made me have to look at why there were certain people leaving my life at certain times that I, at the time, didn't understand, but now get to look back and enjoy and find the love and accept and celebrate what they were to me then, right? So it's just taking yourself through this process in whatever you're calling in or wanting to manifest within this new year. This new year has this beautiful energy of abundance. And we know this to be true because we see a lot of people rising up, stepping into their power, speaking out. Everyone's fighting for and experiencing more equality across the board, no matter who you are and what you do. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but we know collectively throughout the world, people are all fighting for a voice, and all at the same time and in all different areas and corners of the world. And now we see so much more people being open to and experiencing and getting to be a part of equality and neutrality and spiritual experiences and love, collectively, an energy of love. So as we take this experience of going through, loving the experiences we went through, accepting them wholly and always, finding the joy and the love in them now, and then celebrating life, we complement that with this abundant energy that is collectively rising within 2020 and already overflowing into our life. We've already been experiencing it. You've likely been feeling a lot more driven to do things, to really focus, or feeling frustrated when you're not sitting down and focusing or not doing the things that you know you should be doing or you want to do. Not that you should be doing them, but you truly are determined to do them. You feel this fiery energy wanting you to just fully immerse yourself in it. Even if it's goals, even if it's to lose 5 pounds or to get yourself out there in life more and be around more people, or something with health or something with money or finding a new job, right? Whatever it is that you're calling into your life right now, the collective energy of abundance is already here. And when we co-create within abundance and we do the self-reflection with even these 4 affirmations, with whatever it is in relation to what you're calling into your life right now, you automatically create that self-awareness, which is going to be your number one key thing to follow through with this new year, is self-awareness. How do you have a hand in what is being blocked or stopped? So what that would look like is, if you are going for a new job, maybe it's something totally out of your field. I'm going to make specifics. You work for a bank and now you want to be an esthetician, right? Very different fields. You work for a bank and you're like, I have this dream and this passion to go and get this job as an esthetician, assuming that you don't need the schooling behind it. So you go and you apply, but you don't get it right away. And then you step back and you feel defeated and you're like, oh, maybe it's a sign I'm not supposed to do it. Well, the question to you then would be, did you actually believe that going into that, having that same drive and motivation to want to try that, to be a part of that, did you believe that you were truly going to be able to step into that? Did you truly believe that that was something that was available for you? Or did you just walk into it feeling like, oh, I think I can do this. Hopefully it works out. And then, it falls through. Also, can you have the trust and faith that maybe that wasn't the right place and that there's another place for you to go to, right? So that's just a job example, but it's looking at where your beliefs lie. Do you truly feel like you can be in a space, or do you truly feel like you're in a space to, if that was about going to happen for you right now, you were going to walk into that job, you were going to get it on the spot, you were going to get everything that you required and asked for and desired and more, right? Because why not experience the above and beyonds of what life can offer? Do you truly believe that that's available for you? No matter what it is, whether you need an extra $1,000 in your bank, whether you want to lose 10 pounds, whether you're calling in a soulmate relationship, do you truly believe that that's available for you? And then you look back to those 4 affirmations. What in your life were you asked to be a part of an experience? How can you self-reflect and accept that experience, that unideal experience, wholly? How can you find the joy and love for it? And now how can you celebrate how that was in your life? Right? So it's just taking yourself through that process in anything that you're calling in. If you want to create any sort of sustainable results, it's going to take this type of process. This is something that I've been working with over the last 2 years for myself, and it has really helped me so much, not only just in doing what I do, being an intuitive reader, trusting in myself, trusting in spirit, trusting in energies and other people's energies, but also just whenever I'm calling something in for my life. If I need an extra $3,000 for rent because my husband's transitioned out of work, do I truly believe that that's going to show up in my life, that I can create that? Or am I just going to hope for it and then kind of fall short, which is exactly what happened to me 2 months ago. A month ago? 2 months, last month, November. I was like, yep, I got this, hoping that it was going to happen. But I didn't truly believe that it was. And then because this month I worked so much more on this process and stepped back into it, it showed up for me because I truly believed that it was available for me and it could come. So that's just kind of how you get to step into that manifestation energy of calling things into your life. Now, for obvious reasons, it takes action. You can sit and you can work on your beliefs, which first and foremost, always, always, always work on your beliefs, because that is the energy that you're going to radiate from within you out into your external reality. And whenever you do that inner work, that's what's going to allow you to co-create the things that you actually get to experience in your life. You have to feel into that space first before it's actually going to show up for you. It can be momentarily, it can be within days, weeks, or months, whatever that looks like. But you have to really, truly believe that it is possible, whatever it is that you're calling in first. As we are moving through into the next few days of 2020, I'm going to give you a couple tips of kind of how to stay in a place of self-awareness, or how to step into self-awareness when you are feeling like, because we can get into this space, and it always happens around the new year, where we're like, okay, I got this. January 1st, I'm going on my diet, I'm going to do all the things, I'm going to work out every day, I'm going to stand my ground, I'm going to go for the new job, whatever that looks like for you. And then after a couple of weeks, we find that we get over this curve, and we start to be like, yeah, old patterns and habits start to arise, and we continue to be within where we were before that first day, and that fiery energy that was emitting from within us. So something to help you stay in a place of self-awareness, and to really continue to be in that fiery spirited energy, is to go outside. Take yourself and go outside as often as you can. Now, granted, I'm in Edmonton, well, close to Edmonton, but cold weather. So it can get very cold. So the chances of me going outside when it's minus 30 are not very likely. However, you can stick your head outside. You can go for a brief walk. You can even park a little farther away from the door if you have to go into a building, and just take those extra few moments to just be present outside. That energy is something that allows you to just refresh and restore. So especially on the days where you start to find yourself slipping away from that high that you're on, that motivation, that determination, and we start to find that, okay, well, I'm going to skip this day, and I'm going to skip that day, and I'm going to just, well, maybe I don't need to do it here, and I don't need to do it there. Oh, that was good enough. We're starting to get into the good enough. Go and put yourself outside, refresh and restore yourself, with the intention that you are refreshing and restoring yourself. This is my favorite tool. This is my ultimate tool. This is the one that I utilize first and foremost anytime I need to do anything, even if I'm starting to feel like it's a down day. And sometimes you just have things you need to get done on a particular day. So always rest and restore and recover your energy when your body starts to physically shut down. But on those days where you just feel like, you have the list, no matter what, it needs to get done, go and refresh yourself, go and refresh your energy. If you're feeling like you're falling off track, give yourself that grace, because you're never off track. You're always still on the right path and on the right plan. Sometimes your lesson in that moment is just grace surrounding wherever you are in your life, giving yourself the grace, but also to go outside, refresh your energy, restore your energy. It is equally as beneficial as turning on upbeat music or some sort of music that makes you feel really good. The outdoors and the music are going to be your saving grace always. If you ever think of yourself starting to not feel the greatest, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever the case may be, you go and a good song turns on the radio, you automatically are in it. You're immersed in it. You're a part of it. It's the same thing as going outside and just taking in those deep breaths and just being present with that energy. I'm just sitting with my guides to see if there's anything else that they want me to talk about. We'll talk about self-awareness again in a moment. But first and foremost, as we are here to co-create with this new moon manifestation energy, we're going to go over what we're calling into our life. So there's 3 things in particular that I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on your material item that you would really like to receive, even if right now in your life, an experience, a feeling that you want to feel throughout this beautiful 12 months that are about to unroll upon us, and a dream. What is that dream goal above and beyond? Maybe it's a mansion, maybe it's the lottery, maybe it's a trip, whatever that is. I want you to go big, and I want you to be bold and start to realize that that dream goal isn't out of reach. It is there in your heart for a reason. So those 3 things: the material item you're calling into your life, the experience and the feeling, and then the dream goal. Hey babe, what? Can you check on her, please? I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to sit and reflect with that. Okay, so now that you have set in those intentions with your energy, with yourself, I am going to walk you through a guided meditation where we are going to activate our higher self, where we are going to step into a space where we are going to visualize these things that we are calling in, where we are going to embody the version of us that is required to receive and experience and be a part of our dreams, our goals, and the things that we desire now. So I am going to invite you to just sit calmly with your energy and to close your eyes, to just breathe through and connect with your breath as I just speak. Listen to the words that I am sharing with you and the things that come through. We're going to be working a lot with our mind's eye, which is our chakra of visualization. We are going to be receiving our downloads and our clear connection to our crown chakra, which sits just above our head, which is our connection to our oneness and our knowing. We are going to activate the drive and determination through our solar plexus chakra, which embodies that feeling of willpower. We are going to activate the feelings within our sacral chakra that allows us to feel into the experiences, the dreams, and the things that we call into our life now. We are going to emanate the energy from our heart chakra, from a place of love, understanding, and knowing that we are worthy of all that we are meant to experience. We are going to connect with our throat chakra, allowing our truth to speak through, to feel through, and to embody these things that we're calling into our life now as if they're already a part of it. And we are going to sit and ground in all the energy into our root chakra because it is already so. As we have written it on our papers, as we have reflected it within our mind and our energy, we root it down into our chakra, our root chakra, to make that commitment to ourselves and to our energy and to our higher self, that these things are placed in our heart and in our mind for a particular reason, because they are meant for us now. Taking a deep breath, release. And we are going to let go of anything exciting and anything overwhelming that may be occurring at this time. We're going to allow ourselves to become present and grounded in this moment, opening up, expanding, and allowing our energy to unfold in all the ways that it is meant to for us, and because we simply can. I ask you to envision yourself walking up a cliff. You're walking up a cliff. You're enjoying the scenery surrounding you.
The scenery looks to be similar to what the Grand Canyon would be like. Very rocky, very earthy, very solid. As you continue to walk up to this cliff, you start to get towards the end, and now you stand upon a ledge. And as you stand upon this ledge and you peek your toes over the top, you throw in any beliefs, any material items, any experiences, any relationships, metaphorically, physically, emotionally, mentally, that have held you back up until this point. As you stand on this ledge, you throw these things into the earth that are no longer serving you and have no longer served you for a very long time. You stand on this ledge releasing anything that is no longer co-creating within your higher good. Your higher self is asking you here in this moment to throw these things back to the earth, to where they are meant to be, and to no longer allow them to stay with you. And moving forward, when you're reminded of them, when they come up, when the boundaries need to be set, when it's revisited within your life, you come back to this moment of standing on the cliff and continuously throwing it back to the earth. Because your energy and your life and where you are going and where you are is no longer available and ready for these things, these experiences, these people, these emotions that have held you back and the beliefs that have held you back till now. I invite you to take 2 steps back from this edge, visualizing yourself walking backwards, walking away from the things that are no longer serving you, that you have just thrown away from your life. As you stand near this ledge, you feel naked and raw to the experiences and all the things that are coming for you, that are co-creating with your highest and greatest good, with the love that surrounds you, and the positive experiences and the beautiful relationships that are here now and are coming for you now. For the money and the purpose and the fulfillment and the jobs and the opportunities and everything is available for you here. As you make that energetic room, releasing anything that's no longer serving you, you stand back raw and ready for all that is meant to come into your life now. And as we manifest and as we call in the energy of the new moon and the abundance of the 2020, we allow everything. Everything is a possibility. Everything is available. Everything is now here. Reflect on the feeling that you feel in this moment. In what area of your body do you feel a particular sensation? What is the emotion that comes up for you? Maybe here in this space where you have felt into and allowed yourself to be open, there is a sense of peace. I invite you to visualize yourself taking more steps back away from the ledge, turning your back to all that you've released and thrown away, and walking back down the cliff to a lush green grass area full of blossoming plants and flowers and life, as if to walk away from the things that have once built up your foundation, the ground beneath your feet, now having released it and thrown it away, walking yourself into a pasture of new, of fresh, of beauty. Understanding that from this space here and now, that the new, the fresh, and the beauty is here, is present, and is walking its way to you now. Take a deep breath in, release, and I invite you to place your hand on your heart and one hand on your solar plexus, which is similar to where your stomach is. And to visualize those things that you're calling into your life, that material item, feel into that experience, visualize that dream goal. In the space of new and fresh and beauty, as you visualize and call these things into your life, with your hand on your heart and your hand on your solar plexus, you imprint these into your chakras, into your system, into your energy now. Moving forward with the understanding and the creation of all that is available and ready for you. You are asked to step into a version of you like no other before, so that these things can continue to be and will inevitably be a part of your life. And your guides ask you the question, are you ready? Take a deep breath in, release, and when you're ready, I invite you to come back, to revisit the moment, open your eyes. Do a stretch, do a little wiggle, get your energy moving again, rub your hands together. Tammy's doing a dance. I love it. Okay, beautiful. So whenever you get to a point, because inevitably there will get to be a point, because no matter who you are, what you're doing, what you're creating in your life, what you're being a part of, there's going to come a point where this new version of you that you've just activated, these new opportunities start unfolding, things start going in the direction that you're wanting to, where you get to this point where you're like, oh wait, where does the shoe drop? Or is this actually possible? Is this actually happening? Is this actually being called into my life? Am I really doing this? Come back to this moment. Come back to throwing those disbeliefs and those things that are holding you back and those fears or those people or those words or those comments over the edge. And then continue to visualize yourself walking back from it. Continue to walk yourself back into that green pasture of blossoming opportunities and possibility and the fresh and the renewed. That's something that has helped me so, so much in my life. Whenever I get to that point of like, can I actually do this? Is this actually possible? Is this really happening? Am I about to do that? As I go through that process for myself of throwing the thing that's stopping me, whether it be a belief or a person or a judgment, whatever the case may be, off the ledge, throwing it away, throwing it back to Mother Earth, and then stepping back into the opportunity, the possibility. And sometimes in that moment, it doesn't always work right away, but if you sit with it long enough with even more intention, you will start to feel that shift back to that space of like, okay, I got this, I'm doing this, it's happening, there's no shoe that's dropping, it's going to continue to create, or I'm going to continue to co-create within it. Okay, so now I am going to ask you to write a little short promise letter to yourself. You can continue it afterwards as well if you have more that you want to write. But I invite you to start off with the notion. If you haven't printed off the worksheet, I'm going to type it in the chat box too for you. But you're going to start off with my name, so your name, promise my higher self that I will, and then move forward with a few lines that make sense to you in reflection to what we just walked through in that guided meditation. What are some things that you're going to promise to your higher self that you're going to do your best to, or just completely no longer bring into this new year, that you're going to leave behind, that you're going to accept, you're going to love, you're going to allow, or you're going to celebrate? I'll give you 3 minutes, and then we will rejoin. Babe, can you turn it down, please? Okay, perfect. All right. So that is something that you can come back to. Feel free to add more to it, or leave that in a place like on a mirror or by your door or somewhere where you will see it often, to remind yourself throughout the year of what you're leaving behind, because you have now reactivated and you have activated something new within you that is going to allow you to move forward, manifesting and creating within this beautiful new energy that you have stepped into. And even before you joined this, even before we went through this whole beautiful circle, this energy was already activating and being called within you. These are just now reflections. These are moments of self-awareness that you've brought to life for yourself. So how I mentioned we were going to talk about self-awareness, this is the perfect opportunity to bring this in again. So, Tammy, you're very self-aware. Love it. Self-awareness is just taking accountability for life, assuming that absolutely everything to some degree is your fault. And whether at the end of the day it ends up being your fault or not, having the assumption that it is always your fault first allows you to create self-awareness and the changes and the shifts or the disconnects or the boundaries that you need to move forward. This has been a game changer for me, assuming that when anything unideal is happening in my life, whether it be an unexpected bill, whether it be a negative conversation, whether it be something that I really don't want to happen to show up in my life, assuming that in some way, shape, or form, my energy, my thoughts, my beliefs, something that I have done has created it, and I get to go through the process of breaking that down. So, like, obviously someone getting in a car accident has absolutely nothing to do with me. So, use your judgment, but at the beginning, or sorry, at the end of the day, you get to sit with, okay, why is this showing up? Is this a mirror? Is this a reflection? Is this something I need to learn? Is there something that I need to change? Is this a pivoting moment? Is this person no longer taking me to where I need to go? It's not selfish to disconnect yourself from other people. It's actually more just a beautiful moment of self-awareness for you in honoring your energy first, because at the end of the day, the world actually does revolve around you. You're the center of your world and the life that you get to live in and co-create with. And all the people and all the things get to be a part of that world. And by you honoring your energy first, being self-aware of how you may be creating any positive or any negative circumstance or situation in your life, it just allows you to be able to create and open up and do so much more, because now you're more tuned in to yourself and what's happening surrounding you. When I asked my guides what the most beautiful phrase or way to end this off was needed and necessary, they just showed me that you will never be in this moment again in your life. That as of even 1 minute from now, when the circle is over, when you go to bed, when you wake up the next day, this moment will no longer be here. That everything that has occurred and happened in the past, this morning, this afternoon, 20 minutes from when we started, is no longer here. And that every moment moving forward, whether it be a positive or negative experience, gratitude for where you were, where you are, and what's coming for you is going to be your ultimate key for experiencing any sort of beauty or love or joy in your life. So, thank you all for joining me tonight. I truly hope that that was a beautiful reflection for you. You were able to gather and gain some insight about yourself, about the things that you're calling into your life, and really just truly activating all that is possible for you. You are just as powerful as the most powerful person in this world, which means that no matter where you are, where you're at, financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, that even a year from now, even like I just mentioned, tomorrow is a very different day, and anything can happen in a split second. So especially in those unideal circumstances or those testing moments of patience, coming back to gratitude, because again, self-reflection, self-awareness, but then also an opportunity to love and to find patience and to find peace. So I'm going to do a draw for the beautiful names that were attending this evening. Oh, hold on. All right. This is my hat, aka my hand. And one phone. What did Spirit choose? Spirit chose Lori. So Lori, please email me. I'm going to be sending out the Jasper crystal. It's a very beautiful detoxifying and grounding stone. The selenite cube, which is really good for cleansing and clearing your energy. The rose quartz necklace crystal, rose quartz crystal necklace, there we go. And the $25 gift certificate. So please email me and I will send that to you. And thank you everyone else for joining me tonight. It was an absolute blessing and privilege to lead you through this manifestation workshop. And I hope you enjoy and co-create all the beautiful things coming for you in 2020. So sending you guys all the love tonight. Take care, guys.